Edberg versus the super talented Frenchman, Henri Leconte. Well, Robin, that's pretty good judgment, isn't it? The first ball of the match, leaving it only a couple of inches out.
Yes, I must admit that was closer judgment than I would have been capable of on the first point of the match.
30 love.
It's a medium pace, fairly high bouncing court. Green set is the name of the court. It's a nice surface, very popular with the players, and has extremely good footwork for all the players here this week. It's not a carpet court surface, it's an acrylic type surface that's laid specially for this tournament.
40-15.
And you'll notice, Robin, that there's no doubles lines. Slightly unusual.
Yes, I think that can take a bit of getting used to. If you're used to having doubles lines, it makes the court seem much bigger around the sides, much wider run back, longer run back.
First serve.
Of course, many of the tournaments cannot have this type of singles type court because there are doubles matches as well, but this tournament is only singles.
Game, Edberg.
So, a good start from Stefan Edberg.
First game.
Stefan Edberg, the world's #1 player, and Robin, he really does deserve that title as #1, doesn't he?
Yes, he certainly does. I mean, he's had an excellent year. I mean, it's a bit of a mixed year, really. I mean, he's lost in a couple of major championships in the first round, then he's won Wimbledon, and he's won a whole host of other titles throughout the year. So he can be very pleased with himself, I think.
Well, Edberg, how much prize money has he won? It's just huge, isn't it? He's won nearly $8 million so far in his illustrious career. Remembering he's only 24 years of age, and already this year he's won over $1 million, and that's in prize money alone. So his bank balance is quite good. Leconte's is not bad either, is it? He'll be up to maybe the $2.5 million mark. Certainly so far he's won a lot of prize money, and one mustn't forget that Henri has been injured a lot of times in his career. He's had a lot of back problems, but it's great to see him back because I just feel that the personality of Leconte adds to the whole of the men's game.
Yes, I'd agree with that. I mean, in a match like this, I think Stefan Edberg would obviously have to be favourite, but Henri Leconte is going to take the ball early, and he's going to make it very difficult for Edberg.
Yes.
15.
And Henri Leconte paying the penalty for not angling that volley enough. Edberg is so fast around the court.
We were watching last night on Eurosport a great match, Leconte versus Chesnikov, and we had to leave it a little early. It was 11:30 at night, mind you, but Leconte won that match, 6-4 in the third set. Played some great tennis, and here he is in the semi-finals. Oh, yes.
15-30.
And here we see a second serve from Henri Leconte. He plays a difficult volley, but there's that Edberg backhand, which must be one of the best in the world right now.
And Leconte in very serious mood. So often we see him clowning around, and I'm sure we'll see a little bit of that later on, but just prior to this match he actually warmed up with all the ball boys in a nice gentle exercise before this match.
And some tremendous reaction volleying from Henri Leconte. Edberg hit that very hard.
Game, Leconte. One game all.
And you can tell that Leconte is really serious out here this afternoon. He's striding up to get ready to return the serve in a very fast and positive manner. There isn't going to be any joking around early in this match. He really wants to get this early break if he can.
Love 15.
An unusual volleying error from Stefan Edberg.
Love 13.
One doesn't often see that, Robin.
No, that hit him right in the middle of the chest. Leconte took that return so early, hit it very hard. Edberg unable to get out of the way.
15-13.
Always the same expression on his face, or shall I say lack of it, from Edberg. But that doesn't mean that the heart's not pumping. Because underneath that quiet, unassuming exterior, he really has proved, particularly this year with his win at Wimbledon, that he is a very, very positive man under that very unassuming character of his. Well, very close. And that little frown from Edberg is probably the equivalent of another player actually asking the umpire if he's sure, Robin.
That's right. That was a really serious question mark there from Edberg.
So the first break point of the match so far.
Game, Leconte.
And it ends with a double fault, with Leconte having the break of serve at 2-1.
Leconte leads by 2-1.
People go mad without a meter copier. Only meter can make a meter.
Manolo, without ropes, with his bare hands. And with him there's Sector. Sector's sport watches, going beyond.
Welcome back. Henri Leconte with the break of serve, 2-1 in the first set in this first semi-final here in Antwerp in this very, very prestigious tournament.
15 love.
And that's probably, Robin, where he's going to serve quite a lot of balls, isn't it, to Edberg's slightly weaker forehand.
Yes, that's right. He kicked that second serve across the body of Edberg, and he mistimed it badly. Yeah, his favourite return is that backhand, stepping in, taking it early. And there it was. And the very next point, not a bad serve, but in this class of tennis, not quite good enough.
And that gives a very good demonstration of what you were saying, Robin, that Leconte's got to avoid second serves to Edberg's backhand. No, just out.
30 all.
Such a nice personality, Leconte, on and off court. Well, again, we saw Leconte test Edberg's forehand, as we were saying. Now, Edberg has the break point.
First serve. Game, Edberg. Two games all.
So, good game from Edberg. Always good to break your opponent's serve straight back once you've lost your own.
It was a disappointing game from Henri Leconte's point of view, I think. For he had 30 love in that game, and he missed a bad volley at 30-15.
Love 15.
Great stretch volley from Edberg, but he was never going to get that one.
Oh. 15-13.
And that really is the trait of Stefan Edberg. He has got a very, very good second serve, if not the best in the game. Very consistent second serve, bounces very high, awkward for his opponent. And he's missed it.
30-40.
Amazing. Well, that's a bit of luck for Henri.
Yes, and both players are missing quite a lot of volleys in this match. But whether the sight lines aren't that good, they're not picking the ball up until a little bit late or something, but they are missing quite a lot of volleys at this stage.
Use.
And that must have clipped the corner.
Well, that's the quickest way of gaining the break point back. Oh, great return of serve from Leconte. He almost anticipated where Edberg was going to serve. Already had his backhand grip ready for it. And powered it down the line to get his second break point. Now, will Edberg serve to Leconte's forehand or backhand?
Use.
Well, Edberg did well on the first volley, didn't he, Robin? He got down well.
Yes, that was a very good return of serve. But that's where he's so good, Edberg. And not only does he have a good second serve, but he gets in so fast behind it. Very tough to get it past him.
Nope, just out.
Advantage Edberg.
Leconte's making him play so many points on this first serve and second. And that's good, putting the pressure on Edberg. But this is where Edberg often gets a first serve in. Well, you could hear, I don't know whether you could hear at home, but certainly with our earphones on, you could hear the mishit of that second serve. Hit the frame and the strings. A bad double fault. Two all, juice.
Advantage Leconte.
And it's when Leconte hits the ball very hard and wide that Edberg's missed a couple. Leconte with his third break point, perhaps to go 3-2. Yes, there it is. That's the break he's been looking for. Leconte's second break of serve.
Leconte leads 3 games to 2.
And what a way to break Edberg's serve. So we've talked about Leconte and Edberg, but nobody has got such a great record at Grand Slams. Well, one of the people that's got a great record at Grand Slams is Stefan Edberg, particularly with his Wimbledon this year, which he did so well, winning on the grass courts at SW19. Leconte's got not a bad record on Grand Slams as well, but certainly not as good as Stefan Edberg, who tends to reserve his best matches for these big events. There's the Australian Open, winning in 87 and 85. French Open, yet to win. But certainly, just look at the Wimbledon. Won it in 1990, early this year, and in 88. And the US Open is yet to win yet, but I'm sure that will be one of the tournaments which he'd just love to have in his pocket.
Thank you.
So, Stefan Edberg, great record. Leconte, well, Australian Open, he hasn't reached the quarter-final yet. The French Open, the final in 1988. That was his best win or best result in Grand Slams. At Wimbledon, he's reached the semi-final because it's on grass, and being left-handed and having a very quick serve, it's very effective on grass. So he's reached a quarter-final at Wimbledon and the semi-final, and has reached one quarter-final at US Open. So whilst not quite so good as Stefan Edberg, still got not a bad record in Grand Slams. One of the most popular people on the circuit. And here Leconte is with a break at 3-2.
15 love.
And interestingly, Henri Leconte deciding to stay back on that second serve. First time he's done that, and that produced an error from Stefan Edberg's forehand.
Just look how high bouncing that second serve was.
Yes, that's right, Paul. I think he decided to take a bit of a risk on that one. He was 30 love up. He kicked it out really wide to Stefan Edberg's forehand. Almost a complete ace.
He's got such great variation on the serve, Leconte. He can slice it, he can go flat down the middle, or he can twist it and get a lot of spin on the ball.
Game, Leconte. Leconte leads 4 games to 2.
And that's the best way of sending the vibrations to Edberg that he means business this afternoon in this first semi-final. Winning your serve to love after breaking Edberg's 2-4.
Yes, and this was a point set up by that very deep backhand approach, enabling Edberg to get into the net very quickly.
15 all.
And Leconte taking initiative this time. Edberg deciding to stay back on the second serve.
I just get the feeling, Robin, that Leconte is really, really keyed up for this match. You can just see it by his mannerisms, by his body language. He just wants to beat Edberg badly today.
Yes, I think that's right.
30-15.
Also, I feel that Stefan Edberg is having a little bit of trouble with the toss on his serve. He hasn't got a very high percentage of first serves in, and that's tending to put him under pressure on his serve. And Leconte can sense this. He knows that if he can get another break, then the first set's going to be definitely his.
40-15.
But he's a very difficult person to read, Stefan Edberg. You can't tell by his expression at all. You can't tell what sort of mood he's in.
Game, Edberg. Ball change.
So Stefan Edberg wins his serve.
Leconte leads by
Leconte still leads, and he's going well. He has the break, and he's 4-3.
Liebe Ballon.
Not to be missed in November on Eurosport. A trio of top tennis tournaments, the Paris Open with all the world's outstanding players, the final 4 days live in November, the London Indoor Championship live, and the Dutch Indoor Championship. There's World Cup golf live from Florida. Ian Woosnam fighting for Wales, Bernhard Langer battling for Germany, Payne Stewart for the States. The final lap of the Formula One World Championship will be fought out in Adelaide, the Australian Grand Prix live. And we'll follow more fast cars in the RAC Rally around Great Britain. And we get a taste of Windsor with ice hockey's European Cup. Not to be missed in November on Eurosport.
Welcome back to the European Community Championships here in Antwerp, this magnificent court.
New balls.
And new balls for Leconte, which is an advantage because they go through the air much quicker, and he's 4-3.
Le 15.
Yes, great play in the true traditional style of Stefan Edberg.
Yes, and this time it's Leconte who pays the price for staying back on his serve. Edberg very quick again to take the initiative. A better looking forehand that time. He's in so fast, the volley's made simple.
Le 40.
There's been 3 breaks of serve so far already in this match. And could be the 4th coming up. 3 break points to Stefan Edberg. Yes, it was a little short, the approach shot, and he paid the price.
4 games all.
Yes, I think this was a bit of chip and hope, really. At love 40 down, he didn't really get anything like enough depth on that.
The approach shot is the shot that's very, very important in this class of tennis. Has to be very deep. 2 breaks of serve each, 4 all. I just love that little look of his when he thinks he's been hard done by.
Love.
Well, if one had to show a videotape of typical Stefan Edberg play, Robin, that's it, isn't it? The serve and the first volley.
What a crisp backhand volley that was. He's played a very good game so far, in the 9th game of this set.
Nope, he's missed it.
40-15.
Leconte let off the hook a little by Edberg.
Game, Edberg. Edberg leads by 5 games to 4.
So, Edberg in the lead, 5-4. And we really have had some great matches here. Eurosport has been here all week at the European Community Championships, covering, as ever, live tennis for you. Let's have a look at some quarter-final results. There's the one that we had to go off air early last night, Leconte and Chesnikov. And Leconte won 6-4 in the third. Stefan Edberg won in 2 straight sets in the quarter-final against Juan Aguilera from Spain. Goran Ivazinovic, he won a very, very close match against Pat Cash, which we covered on Eurosport last night. Great tennis, 7-5 in the third. Amos Mansdorf, the young Israeli, very fast around the court. He beat Jim Courier. A little bit of an upset, that. 7-6 in the third set. Those were the quarter-final results. And the second semi-final, Amos Mansdorf versus the young 19-year-old Goran Ivanisevic from Yugoslavia. And that's at 8 o'clock tonight on Eurosport, live from the European Community Championships here in Antwerp. In the middle of the picture, the golden racket, worth $1 million. And it has to be won 3 times in 5 years. And Edberg in 85, or sorry, Lendl in 85, won that racket outright. Unforced errors, Leconte, a few more unforced errors than Edberg. But he now has 4-5.
Tough point for both players.
15 love.
Henri Leconte just stretches to get that forehand volley, and another stretch, and that's a volley into the open court.
Yes, that's a great
15 all.
shot. He ran round his backhand, hit a great forehand down the line.
Yes, and it was made a little bit easy for him by the fact that that kick serve, it kicked out onto his forehand, and that time he was in the right position. Henri Leconte is going to have to serve well in this game to stay in the set.
30-15.
He might well have been listening there. I think he knows that this is the crunch in this set. He's let his opportunities slip a little bit. He's led 4-2. He's now down 4-5.
Ooh, that's a bad
30 all.
mistake. And for those very observant viewers from Australia, America and in Europe who see that little red sponge piece of equipment on Leconte's racket, if you notice, if you watch very carefully, you'll see that on the strings of his racket when he serves. That's meant to stop the vibration on the racket. A lot of players use it.
30-40.
And that's a bad volley. With a good return of serve from Stefan. Setting up his first set point.
Second serve.
Now, will Leconte serve and volley, or serve and stay back?
Use.
And he chose the braver option. Well, he very often does that, Leconte. On a break point down, he serve and volleys second serve. He's a positive player, and he knows that his opponent is going to try to make him play the ball rather than perhaps go for the outright winner. That's exactly what happened there.
Oh, that's a great volley. I don't think either of them were quite sure whether the ball was going to be called out, but it was obviously just on the line.
Yes, and that was a good first serve, which he needs so badly.
Game, Leconte. Five games all.
Henri Leconte from France saving 2 set points from the unassuming and quiet, reserved Stefan Edberg. There's that little red piece of equipment on his racket that I was referring to. 5 all.
Love.
I think this is the nice thing about surfaces like this, Robin, is so much that you can the surface is the type of pace that you can serve and volley very quickly, or you can serve and stay back. That makes it good for the spectators.
All.
Well, first of all, the serve looked very nearly out, then the volley looked very nearly out, and then Henri Leconte came up with a shot that was outrageous, even by his standards.
Oh yes, that's a great return of serve. because Stefan Edberg was very, very close to the net.
Yes, this was a good return. He stepped in and across to it, right at Edberg's feet. And as you were saying about the surface pool, this is what can happen if somebody doesn't serve very well on a surface like this, and the receiver tends to get the upper hand. And that's what makes for an exciting match.
30-all.
There it is again. The wide serves the backhand. Leconte read it well and whipped it cross court. And that gives him a break point for 6-5 in the first set.
First serve.
Yes, so there's the break of serve for Leconte. He knew exactly where Edberg was going to serve. He picked the forehand and went for the outright winner, and he has the break of serve at 6-5.
Cathay Pacific, helping the new world of international travelers arrive in better shape.
Welcome back. The European Community Championships. Ball boys just running across to take their positions, and all the ball boys and ball girls are local good young tennis players from Antwerp, and what great experience they're having watching these great stars play this week. So Leconte serving now 6-5. No, that was going out. Only Leconte could have done that.
15 love.
He might have as well have started to smash that from the stands, really. He was miles outside the singles line.
Leconte looking mean and hungry for this first set. You can hear by the grunt when he serves just how keyed up he is for this match. Stefan Edberg has already missed having 2 set points, and now it's Leconte's turn with 3 set points.
Game and first set, Leconte.
So, great first set from Leconte. 45 minutes of good tennis, having broken Edberg 3 times. That tells the story.
Love.
Yes, and tennis is a game of confidence, isn't it? Because Henri Leconte started off more confident. That was a good return there, but a great volley from Edberg. He started off more confidently, then he lost it a bit, and now he seems to be on a high again. And here he pushes that volley deep, and Stefan Edberg can do very little with the backhand, making it simple for Leconte.
.30-15.
6,000 people watching this match this afternoon that we're covering live on Eurosport, the European Satellite Sports Network. Also joined from USA, from Prime Network and Channel 9 Australia. And that's a wonderful volley. Stylish and classical style that Edberg has.
Yes, and this is the best backhand volley in the world, without question. And no half measures on this backhand. Steps in and rifles it cross court.
Well, I don't know whether we're going to see a slow motion on that serve, but it was so high kicking that invariably Leconte manages to get the ball back to Edberg's feet, making it very awkward, forcing him to hit a half volley.
Advantage, Edberg.
He's played a lot of tennis recently, Stefan. Been to Australia, to Tokyo, now over to Europe. And the race for who's going to be #1 on the computer ranking at the end of the year is hotting up between Becker, Lendl and Edberg. 3 players in the world who are probably slightly above the rest of the players, although Andre Agassi would probably argue with me there.
Advantage, Edberg.
And Leconte continuing to take the ball early, but that time the pace of the serve just beat him a little bit.
Game, Edberg.
So Edberg manages to get the first set, comes out, wins his opening game in the first game of the second set.
Without ropes, with his bare hands, and with him there's Sector. Sector's sport watchers, going beyond.
Stefan Edberg, 1-love against Leconte, having lost the first set 7-5 here in the semi-finals in the European Community Championships.
Leconte to serve. Love.
Edberg almost had too much time there, Robin, didn't he?
Yes, it was a little bit sloppy backhand for him. He must have hit the net about 6 inches below the top. Not even close.
15-all. 20-15.
Oh, that's a great volley. It was only just inside the line. But the talent of Leconte really comes out on the volley. He's got wonderful hands.
First serve.
Oh la la, you may well say.
And
40-30.
great improvisation from Stefan Edberg. Look at the racket control. And even he's pretty pleased with that shot.
Yes, it's the type of shot really that you imagine coming from the racket in the hands of Leconte, not Edberg.
Game, Leconte. One game all.
Leconte very, very determined this afternoon. And they're the ball boys and ball girls who Leconte gave a practice session to prior to this match. What a thrill for them. 1-1, second set.
First serve.
It really is good to see Leconte back in form. Still got a lot of tennis years ahead of him, 27 years of age, but I still think hasn't yet reached his peak. Could well do well in a great Grand Slam in 1991. Again, the approach shot a little short.
But what a great backhand that was. It was perhaps a little bit slow and short, the approach, but that just gave him the opportunity he needed. Such a good angle cross court. And again, a little bit of frailty on the Edberg service. Whether it's the ball toss or what, I'm not sure. He seems to throw the ball so high sometimes, you wonder if it's ever going to come down.
Yes, on his serve, he arches his back a great deal, throws the ball quite far out, invariably to the left-hand side of him, over his head. There.
30-40.
And Leconte is really anticipating, I think, where Edberg's going to serve. They've played each other quite a few times.
Wait, please.
4 times before, so... Break point to Leconte.
Use.
And I'll bet Leconte wished he could have somehow got that onto the Edberg forehand volley.
First serve. Advantage, Leconte.
And that's what I think it is, Paul. I think it's inconsistancy on the toss.
Nemen van uw foto's. No flashlight, please. Thank you.
It's causing him a few problems, and it's given Henri Leconte another break point.
And there is the break of serve. Once again, Leconte gets an early break. Exactly the same stage that he broke in the first set.
Leconte leads by 2 games to 1.
For a 2-1 lead. So, Leconte seems to be breaking Edberg easier than the other way round. He seems to be anticipating exactly where Edberg is going to serve and then going for the pass. So, the road to the semi-final. Stefan Edberg in the first round beat Wally Mercer from Australia 6-2, 6-1. Then he beat Juan Aguilera 6-4, 6-3. So, has yet to lose a set. Henri Leconte beat Goran Pripyc 6-3, 6-4. Tough match in the second round. Those American viewers, Brad Gilbert, you all know him, 7-6 in the third set. And then Andrei Chesnikov 6-3 in the third set. So, Stefan Edberg has got something to make up, hasn't he, Robin? There he is serving. And as many players do, he's in the air when he serves, jumps high with a classical serve, but as you've rightly pointed out, Robin, having a bit of trouble with his throw-up.
Yes, I mean, I think it's a terrific kick serve he's got there, but it is a little bit unusual in a lot of respects. He does arch his back a lot more than one would ever teach a junior to do. And he does have this very high toss that goes off.
Love 15.
Leconte has broken Edberg's serve 4 times so far in this match. Stefan, Robin, has just got to find a bit more motivation, I fear. Otherwise, Leconte's going to sneak in the winner here.
Yes, this is a big game right here. I think if Leconte can maintain the initiative, he certainly looks a little bit more eager than Stefan at the moment. Perhaps a little fresher, hasn't played so many matches.
First serve.
And still a lot of tennis that Edberg has to play later on this year still. One tends to think that it's the latter part of the season, but there's still several tournaments over in Europe here for these players to play. Oh, that's unlucky because it hit the top of the net.
15-40.
Edberg was going for the pass down the line, just aided by a little bit of a net cord, Robin.
Yes, that was unlucky for Leconte, because he had that ball covered. He would have been able to hit a winning volley. Instead, he's 2 break points down.
Interruption of play, so they're playing a let. Quite right, too.
Thank you. First serve. First serve. Game, Edberg. Ball change. Two games all.
So, as often happens with Edberg in this match, he's broken Leconte 3 times so far. Broke back in the first set, having lost his serve for 2-1. Broke back straight away in exactly the same pattern in this match, or in this set.
New ball.
2 games all in this first semi-final here from Antwerp, the European Community Championships.
Yes. Left 15.
And again, the backhand volley of Edberg proving very difficult to get by. And the serve opened up the point.
He really has got a wonderful action on the serve, hasn't he, Edberg? Any youngsters watching from around the world, Edberg's serve. It's a great serve to try and copy. Slow build-up. Knows exactly where he's going to hit the ball every time. And what a second serve, with tremendous kick off the court.
Game, Edberg.
So that second serve always comes in useful for Stefan Edberg. Having lost the first set, he's starting to come back now. He's now 3-2 up in the second set.
There's a challenge beyond the limits. Sector Sport Watches, going beyond.
Welcome back. Stefan Edberg, 3-2 up. Some very nice scenery around here. And look at those earrings. Not quite as expensive as the gold and diamond racket, worth $1 cool million, which a player can win if he wins this championships 3 out of 5 times. Ivan Lendl took home the golden racket in 1985.
Le 15.
And I wonder what he did with the golden racket, Robin. I mean, just imagine Ivan Lendl taking that back, perhaps through customs, $1 million, going to the customs man and saying, anything to declare? Yes, I've got this little racket in my bag.
Well, I certainly don't think he's used it to practice with too much. But I believe it's hanging over his mantelpiece in Connecticut, as far as I know.
And the 1 million golden racket really conjures up the imagination of what these players are able to win nowadays. It's a novel idea, isn't it?
30-15.
And that ball came off Leconte's racket so fast that I don't think the linesman, Edberg, or anybody saw it.
It's quite difficult to see on television the actual spin that comes off the racket of these two players. They're both on their second serves, put a tremendous amount of spin on the ball. Of course, that makes it much more difficult for their opponents to hit.
Game, Leconte. Three games all.
Still nothing much in these two players. Remember that Stefan Edberg had the opportunity of gaining the first set, having had 2 set points, but it was Leconte's set in the end. Ball square at 3-all. When the ball hits the net, Robin, it really does look very loose, doesn't it?
Yes, it's unusual. It shouldn't normally be as loose as that. Perhaps they ought to refer to somebody who deals with some of the Grand Slam tournaments. The nets there are usually very tight indeed.
Of course, whether the net is loose or tight or taut makes quite a difference, because a lot of let cords, and particularly in America, the nets are very tight and the ball bounces very, very high when the ball hits the net. But on this court, when the ball hits the net, top of the net, it normally just dies. Oh, what a return of serve.
And this is where the Leconte inspiration is so dangerous. 3-all, 30-15 up on his serve, and Edberg gets hit with a return like that.
Now, will Leconte just try and chip the ball back to his feet, or will he go for the outright winner? The outright winner it was.
Yes, and he said, thank you very much. That's about the right height, about the right pace, and I'll have that one. So that gives him a vital break point for 4-3, and he's leading by a set to love. Stefan Edberg finds a good first serve.
Advantage, Leconte.
Always difficult to know where to serve against Leconte. He can come out with magical shots on both wings, forehand and backhand. Oh, what a volley. What a volley.
Yes, and he just so rarely misses that backhand volley, and he takes it so far out in front, and Leconte hasn't even had time to move.
Advantage, Edberg.
Yes, I was trying to think, Robin, while we were doing our commentary, who was the player that had a wonderful backhand volley. Obviously, many players have had good backhand volleys, but someone like Roy Emerson, I remember he had a very good backhand volley, didn't he? Certainly, it's Edberg's best volley.
Game, Edberg.
So, Stefan Edberg serving and volleying his way to 4-3 in this second set.
Manolo, without ropes, with his bare hands, and with him there's Sector. Sector sport watchers, going beyond.
Welcome back. Still a lot of tennis in this match. Leconte anxious to get on with it.
Love 16. Love 30.
Ooh, Leconte thought the ball was good. But there's the linesman with his right hand out.
Sorry about that.
Mr. Roman Martins from Belgium, who's officiated in a much better fashion than we saw last night when we saw the match with Pat Cash. The umpiring there was very, very poor indeed.
And again, the wide kicking serve to Edberg's forehand enabled Leconte to hit a volley that was just good enough.
Yes, he took his time, Edberg, didn't he? Very cool play from the Swede.
15-40.
Yes, and it was the return that set this point up. Only Leconte just couldn't get back into the point. So he's in a little bit of trouble now. 2 break points down. Edberg has the opportunity to go to 5-3.
30-40.
Now, Robin, this is where the nerve comes in for Leconte. Is he going to go for a big serve, perhaps down the middle, or play a left-handed slice serve to his backhand? Well, he was going to go for the flat serve down the middle. Still break point down. Well played, Stefan Edberg and Leconte.
And terrific point, especially on break point. Leconte under a lot of pressure. There he looks as though he might be getting out of jail, but Edberg just manages to get it over his head right onto the baseline, and that's a despairing shot from Leconte. Edberg in exactly the right position.
Stilte alsjeblieft. Dank u.
So, Leconte's back up and ready to go. Edberg serving for the second set. Yes.
And again it was the lob that sets the point up. That again must have been right on the baseline, and Leconte taking the net position has a relatively easy volley.
Come on, Henri, come on.
And Stefan Edberg, I think, just teasing him a little bit with that volley, saying, come on, I want to see you run a bit more on this point.
.30-15.
He served a few double faults at vital stage in this match. Robin Drysdale was predicting that it was the toss-up, or saying that it was the toss-up before. He often puts it very far over his left shoulder. Just out.
40-30.
So once again, the safe first serve and first backhand volley of Edberg. Really, that's his trademark, isn't it? The serve and volley, particularly the backhand, giving him a set point. And there it is, the second set to Edberg.
6 games to 3.
6 games to 3. So this match is still bubbling over with enthusiasm of both players. It's a set all.
1 set all.
7-5 to Leconte, 6-3 to Edberg. Well, welcome back. Tonight we have the second semi-final, Amos Mansdorf versus Goran Ivasinovic. Live on Eurosport, 8 o'clock tonight. But back live to Antwerp. The first semi-final, Stefan versus Henri, 1 set all. Stop.
love.
Edberg looking a little slow there, Robin, I thought.
Yes, he is perhaps looking a little bit jaded, isn't he? I think Henri Leconte can sense that he has a big opportunity here to to beat Stefan Edberg if he can just keep his game together. He needs to serve very well, keep holding serve. He had a break in the second set and he lost it.
Game Leconte, first game, final set.
That's a good positive game there.
So Leconte and Edberg have the 90 seconds just to sit down and prepare for this third and final set. Stefan Edberg, who we were saying, Robin, is now #1 on the computer ranking, but still has got a couple of tournaments still to go, some big ones, the ATP Championships in Frankfurt, and also perhaps the Compact Grand Slam Cup for huge, huge money. So it's by no means the end of the season for Stefan, is it?
No, that's right. And whilst it's a very important match for him, obviously it's amongst a series of important matches, and he just has to be careful that he doesn't come out a little bit flat. He's got to keep trying, he's got to keep concentrating, trying to raise his game all the time.
And that's the trouble when you're a top player like Edberg or Becker or Lendl. You're playing a lot of weeks of the year and you all want to be #1 in the world. Stefan Edberg knocked Lendl off the #1 slot in August this year, and Lendl had been #1 80 weeks in a row when Edberg knocked him off the top, which is one heck of a record, isn't it? And there's the golden racket worth $1 million.
To serve.
I can hear our viewers in the States and Australia and Europe saying, wow.
Love.
And there's that backhand volley again, taken right out in front and set up the easy smash.
Love.